Breaking news from the Cryptocurrency World Center: Ripple's plans for an initial public offering (IPO) were just revealed, and holders of XRP may be in for a huge windfall or a significant crash. The financial community has been rocked by this news, and everyone is on edge. This isn't just any rumor, it's the kind of thing that could knock XRP to its knees or send it skyrocketing to $5. Investors are frantically trying to understand the ramifications. Today we explain the implications of the Ripple IPO leak for XRP holders. We'll go over the possible hazards and benefits as well as what you should expect. Stay tuned, as we will go deeply into the facts and present you with the truth that no one else will. Let's begin. This is your go-to resource for negotiating the choppy waters of cryptocurrencies. What comes to mind when you think about Ripple? A business, a cryptocurrency, or a possible financial industry titan? All three could be the truth. Wall Street and cryptocurrency fans have been debating Ripple's valuation, which has topped an astounding $15 billion. However, what is causing this extraordinary price, and why should an XRP holder be concerned? We now understand that Ripple's valuation is far more than just an estimate because of recent court records from the FTX trial. It is based on institutional trust and genuine market interest. There's more going on here, though. The continuing legal disputes between Ripple and the SEC are probably well known to you. Could the company's IPO debut be impacted by these factors? Now let's explore the SEC's part in this play. Ripple's lawsuit against the SEC has been a wild ride. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission has been fighting for years to categorize XRP as a security, and the fight has caused a stir in the cryptocurrency community. However, currently the stakes are greater than ever as Ripple prepares for its IPO. Institutional investors may become interested in Ripple if it goes public under more favorable terms. If the SEC loses its case, however, if the SEC prevails, XRP might be classified as a security and subject to all associated rules and limitations. What does that signify for the IPO of Ripple? The response might decide whether Ripple succeeds or fails in the cryptocurrency space. Under ideal circumstances, Ripple might be able to freely sell its stock to the general public, drawing in significant institutional investors. However, if the SEC prevails, Ripple might have to take more compliance steps, which might turn off some of those large investors and ultimately drive down the company's price. Both scenarios would have an effect on XRP's future, which is precisely what we must keep a close eye on. If you have sufficient experience with cryptocurrency, you most likely recall the historic day Coinbase went public. It was an important turning point that signaled the start of a new age for virtual currencies. It bridged the gap between the traditional finance sector and the cryptocurrency industry, changing the game for both. The price of Bitcoin skyrocketed when Coinbase made its stock market debut. However, why did this occur? The solution is straightforward: institutional faith in the market for cryptocurrencies. The IPO of Coinbase confirmed cryptocurrency's legitimacy as an investment in the eyes of Wall Street's elite. It marked a new stage of widespread acceptance and was a watershed moment for both Bitcoin and the industry as a whole. Let's now examine the possible IPO for Ripple. Similar to Coinbase, if the legal disputes are resolved in Ripple's favor, they may draw significant institutional investment. But the secret is that Coinbase's faith in Bitcoin may be transferred to XRP through this IPO. The outcome: a significant increase in price. Let's create a visual like Bitcoin did when Coinbase went public. XRP's value could increase significantly if Wall Street reacts favorably to Ripple's IPO. Ripple could easily replicate the growth we witnessed with Bitcoin at the time. XRP might be at the center of the storm this time. Alternatively, if the market is unimpressed with Ripple's price or prospects, we might observe a sharp drop. Nothing is risk-free, of course. Let's examine the bull and bear markets for Ripple's first public offering. On the plus side, an IPO would make it possible to reach wealthy institutional investors who believe that Ripple is the way of the future for international payments. The entry of such players into the market could cause XRP's price to soar to $5 or higher. However, the bear case: the opposite outcome might occur if Ripple experiences equity dilution, in which additional shares are issued to finance its IPO. In the short term, XRP's price may suffer because more shares translate into less value per share. Things might get difficult if you combine it with the SEC's continuous legal pressure. An unstable post-IPO environment could result from equity dilution and the additional regulatory burden. Investors may get uncertain as a result of this volatility, making them reluctant to make additional investments. Consider it: even though Ripple is currently worth $15 billion, XRP may lose steam if too many additional shares are issued. The performance of the stock and investor confidence may be greatly impacted by this dilution. Because the financial markets are volatile, even the smallest mistake could lead to significant sell-offs for a cryptocurrency company like Ripple. Investors keep a close eye on the company's every action. This implies that for holders of XRP, the possibility of a sharp increase in value is as real as the risk of a decline. Depending on how things turn out, market volatility can present both an opportunity and a hazard. Ripple isn't only waiting for the market to make a decision about its future. In fact, Ripple recently brought on a new CFO who has extensive expertise taking businesses public and is a Wall Street veteran. It's no accident. It's obvious that Ripple is preparing for an IPO, and the company's financial strategy may change drastically as a result of this hire. By hiring someone with this degree of experience, Ripple is demonstrating their commitment to going public and their readiness for the difficulties that will follow. In addition to trustworthiness, this person has experience navigating the intricate realm of public finance. This might be the secret to unlocking the enormous institutional funding Ripple has been seeking if their IPO goes well. Then there's the unavoidable rumor. According to reports, Ripple intends to repurchase shares. How would XRP investors be impacted by this decision, which would show optimism for the company's future and a desire to boost shareholder value? Ripple could lower the quantity of shares in circulation and raise the value per share by repurchasing shares. This could result in a price spike for holders of XRP, particularly if it increases confidence in Ripple's sound financial standing. However, this move remains uncertain, and only time will tell if it materializes. If this story turns out to be accurate, Ripple might demonstrate to the market that they have the resources and assurance to boost shareholder value, which would probably draw additional investors to XRP. A choice of this kind might have repercussions throughout the cryptocurrency world, particularly for those who are keeping an eye out for indications of stability in Ripple's ecosystem. What does XRP and Ripple's future hold then? Will XRP drop to $5 as a result of the IPO, or will it plummet due to legal issues and equity dilution? There is no doubt about that. Everything might change with Ripple's IPO aspirations. It's time to pay notice if you own XRP. To ensure you never miss out on the most recent cryptocurrency news, please hit the notification bell, like and subscribe if you thought this video was enlightening. Please share your opinions in the comments section below. Do you believe that XRP will soar after Ripple's IPO? Or is all of this hype? We would want to speak with you. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.